Let's take a gander. Okay, so zero-click Windows TCP, zero-click. Wow, zero-click Windows TCP IPRC impacts all systems with IPv6 enabled. Patch now. I mean, almost everything's got IPv6 still enabled. Microsoft warned customers this Tuesday to patch a critical can't even speak. A critical TCP/IP remote code execution RC vulnerability with an increased likelihood of exploitation impacts all Windows systems using IPv6, which is enabled by default. Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of enabled everywhere. So here's a CVE. It's created by an integer underflow. Okay. I wonder if anyone's got a POC for this right now. Two days ago. Let's do this. In URL GitHub. Oh, look at that. There we go. Okay, so Proxy King got something here. There's a mitigation script. What do we got? New payload builder available. Run the server app and generate a malicious web page. Share the link with victim. Enjoy the magic. Look at that. They're trying to offer the exploit for sale on GitHub. Already. Okay. Import script. So this is a mitigation script by disabling IPv6 off of all interfaces. Okay, so this is just a little PowerShell script. Show IPv6, find the adapter name, and disable it. Yeah, that's a quick little automator. I mean, realistically, you really shouldn't be needing to have IPv6 enabled in the first place. And this kind of goes back to like security principles, right? Least privilege, security in depth, all that good stuff. You kind of want to have as few things enabled as possible. So potentially good one for a CDA live vulnerability reporting exercise. Yeah, I think so. I kind of like that. Instructor can play the part of a CISO that read a Doom article about it. Yeah, because that's like, this is kind of what's happening, right? Like, you find out about a new vulnerability. We just read it. Looks like you can just initiate a connection and you're good to go. Let's see what else they're saying about this. So all you need to do is send IPv6 packets that include... Yeah, but what do you have to include? I guess you can execute the RCE along the packet that you're sending. Over the last 4 years. Yeah, interesting. I always love hopping on Reddit and seeing like everyone goes, they just flame it constantly. Ooh, Papa 4X or we got an XOR in the chat. Jordan, welcome. Good to have you here, man. We're just having a little bit of fun at first, looking at the new IPv6 CVE that has been revealed by Drew over here. Zero-click remote code execution, just sending packets to an IPv6 enabled adapter. That sucks. At least there's a patch, or a disablement, either one. Nice, Patch Tuesday. Cool. Yeah, so I guess the patch shouldn't be too big of a deal, but again, it kind of just goes back to the point, like, why do you even have this enabled in the first place? But realistically, there's so many things that you need to disable. How can you do it all, right? I think that's sort of the problem. Cool. Well, we're gonna kick off these resume reviews soon over here. Chris. I should hit him up on Discord, see where he's at. We're gonna start with his resume first. There we go. Captain Woof? Possibly. What did you title your resume? I know I got Drew's latest resume. I think I have your latest one, Sohail. Let me know. Does this look about right? Ah, okay. Let me take a look in Discord, see if I have it up. Just ping me, yeah, send the new one now. Drop it in the resume advice channel. Oh, do you have it like in a PDF? Because then I can just add it as a tab over here because I'm just sharing the Adobe Acrobat window. So Hale, if you can do that. Yeah, Papa makes sure. So I didn't read that it said Papa Haxor. I thought it was just like Papa, you know, like really emphasizing the Papa with an H. And like 4XOR, I thought you were going with some type of like memory address thing. Or maybe like XOR. But yeah, just Papa Ruckus is probably okay too. Papa. Rich. Anthony, do you have any advice for speeding up my touch typing? You type like 1,000 words per minute. Here. You want to go to monkey type. That's what you want to do. Go practice your touch typing over there, and it helps. It definitely does. Because you can get your words out faster, right? And we type so much in cybersecurity. Like your fingers are always in the keyboard, so the faster you are, everything else gets sped up too. All right, so hey, let's see your resume over here. Let's add that inside. Okay, so you're number 3. Let's bring you over here. Nice. Sweet. Enigmatic. Resume redacted. That's probably over there. Cool. Nice. 6 has got 168 words per minute. I think, yeah, the last time I did it was like 149. Just kind of like, I don't know if, I think I could go a lot faster. But I need my other keyboard. This one is my gaming keyboard, which is good. But I can't type as fast on it compared to my daily driver. I use a Mac laptop keyboard, and I'm just so used to that. So this is a mechanical keyboard. My fingers kind of, I can still type quickly, but yeah. Dohorak, are we not doing the resumes we didn't get to last night? Yeah, I mean, we are. So this is what I've got on the screen. I stopped off at Chris, and then we got Jordan, Sohail, Drew, Sample, Rick, resume, Gerald. That's what's on my list. So let me know. Let me know. Let me know. The Horak, if you don't see. Cody, I thought I had yours. I got... You should have been... Yeah, here. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Six degree, if your resume is 42 pages long, then that, I believe, is called a dissertation. That is an autobiography. That is not a resume at that point. You have gone far past the realm of resume, and you have created an autobiography. Yeah, cool, the Horak. We got you. We got you, Cody. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That might work. Like, if you submit a 42-page resume, that might actually like, trip a recruiter and be like, whoa, whoa, like, what is this? And then they end up reading it. They're like, okay, I'd like to know more. Yeah, sounds good, Drew. Yeah, if you guys are like in and out of meetings and stuff too, all good. We're going to kick off the actual resumes real shortly here. Just want to make sure I got everyone. Cool, cool, cool. Chris isn't here. I messaged him. Where is he at? Maybe if I tag him in the chat. Okay. Let's shrink that a little bit. Cool, yeah. Sweet. Okay, well, let's jump into it. I think I've got everyone's resumes that I'm supposed to have. I'll try to get through them all today. They can take a little bit of time. Depends. But a lot of the critique is applicable across multiple resumes. Like, we're doing technical resume review here. Let's do this. Let's jump in. Okay. So let's start off with Chris. Chris, if you're watching the recording after this, we're starting with you now. Let's take a look. Okay, so first and last, Chris is a cyber threat intelligence operator who advised unfacilitated retaining 100% of clientele. Cyber change. Veteran with an expired clearance. He's proficient in confidential follower. Oh, nice. We got a follower goal. Matt. Cool. Who just popped in? Ah, Papa. Thanks for follow. We just hit 50 followers. Sweet. That's pretty cool. Nice. Thank you for the follow, Papa. Baron, you followed as well too 20 minutes ago. I just see the notification there. Nice. We are now at 50. I think it's going to bump it up automatically, but cool. I think that's enough to sort of get us tripped over to Twitch affiliate soon. Just got to keep on streaming. Cool. All right, let's hop into this. Yeah, I think we'll see what we can do for the first hundo followers. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good opening statement over here. I think this part's a little bit redundant. I mean, if you are a cyber operator, especially a cyber threat intelligence operator, because I know that name can be a little bit interchanged and then specified depending. Like Canadian military over here, it's just like cyber operator. So it's sort of assumed, like if that's what you are, then you're already proficient in confidentiality and handling sensitive information, data privacy. I'd be careful, just like, you don't need that, right? Like this is real estate you get back, you can put into something else, you could just leave it empty. I also don't really see like years of experience or specific verticals or industry. It just, all I know at this point in time is that you're a veteran cyber threat intelligence operator. I don't know how long. I don't know if there's anything specific that you really want to highlight with that, but it's still a little bit ambiguous and a little vague. So if you're going to put something on the resume that's up for interpretation still, either remove it or clarify it. That's the best advice I can give you for that one. It's good. It doesn't really specify anything for me. It's like a tidbit of information. So I think there's room to improve over there. Certifications. Cyber Threat Intelligence Certification MAD 20 in progress. I don't recommend putting in progress. I recommend to put the date that you have your exam booked. Certified Threat Intelligence Analyst Foundation ArcX. So I think these are all good. I'm kind of... The bolding seemed kind of weird. I don't know if that was just like intentional and you've got like a weird spacing going on over there. Like this row kind of starts on that column and then that V is really sticking out. So that kind of bothers me. And I mean, if you're a cyber threat intelligence operator and you got to have a good eye for detail, like that's bothering me looking at it. I'm sure it's going to hit a recruiter. So a couple critiques over here. The bolding seems a little inconsistent. Like why isn't fundamentals? Like you've got certification, like this is all not bold, but then why is the fundamentals also not bold too? And then why is the rest of that in bold? It seems inconsistent. Visually, something seems off about this. Your certs are good, but inconsistent bold, weird spacing issue, and there's no date. So that doesn't really help me. I don't know if this is relevant, and if I've read this part of your resume so far, again, I don't know years of experience at this point, and I don't know when you've been studying things. And then I don't get that until I start here. So it's a bit of a missed opportunity. You kind of want to get that right out the gate. Don't leave room for questions. Okay, so professional experience. Digital intelligence analyst at then X local. I create leads marketing. So your bullet points are great. So raise stakeholder investments 33% and gain buy-in with cyber threat intelligence and OSINT work products. Raise stakeholder investments 33%. So this is a good metric. This seems kind of strange. Like, how is that the supporting thing? Maybe something like year over year. Like, to raise investments by 33%, but then you don't explain how, it leaves more to be asked. Like, it's clear that you got buy-in to get 33% investment increase. But this doesn't line up with why 33%. Enabled 2.3 million in new revenue in 2.5 weeks after presenting website. Okay, so that's good. So you presented a website, but then you enabled 2.3 million in new revenue in 2 weeks. I mean, to me that seems kind of strange. Like you gave a presentation and you enabled 2.3 million. It doesn't support one another. Because if you can do that, man, I think any company is going to hire you. Just if you can present something and get 2.3 million. Maybe perhaps you meant that like after the website went live, or maybe like a strategic analysis that allowed an action plan to be created from it. I think this part needs to be explained a little bit more about how that provided the 2.3 million. Increase monthly revenue by 700,000, 7.5 months after informing the digital strategy on risk strategy. Okay, so there's a bit of a trend happening here with your bullets. You have a really strong business metric, but then how you raise the business metric, it seems really like open-ended, up for interpretation. Like, were you the key figure? Were you the lead? Did you implement it yourself? It sounds like you might have been part of something that enabled those metrics. I don't know if you actually led them. So there's a missed opportunity over here. I think you need to support your business metrics with a little bit stronger statements here about what you specifically did, because informing and presenting and getting buy-in to result in 33% investment and 2.3 million and 700,000 there's a lot that happens after presentation to that business metric. That'd be my only critique. Strong points, but the backing of them is leaving a lot of room for interpretation. Achieve 100% client retention, rolling out 20 Google encryption solution. That's good. Okay, so this makes sense. This lines up perfectly. You got 100% client retention by rolling out the Google encryption solution across a portfolio of 300 plus clients. Perfect. That's good. If you want to expand it, maybe you can talk a little bit about what specifically that Google encryption was. Like, maybe talk a little bit more technically about it, but that's good. So this makes more sense. 75,000 in cross-selling revenue landed after acting on the recommendation to disable directory listings. Are we talking about share drive directory listings? Are we talking about web app directory listings for directory traversal? Are we talking about Active Directory policies and directories in Forest and such? This is unknown. I would make this more specific. I don't know how that supports this number again. Threat intelligence OSINT informed website rebuild, saving over 5,000 and landing clients 8 days post launch. Six saying Zamir Anthony's audio is glitchy. Oh, fantastic. Why is there always something going on? It might be because I'm moving. I wonder what it is. Yeah, maybe because I kind of moved some things around. 1 second. I might have pulled something on the cable. Turn the gain down a little bit too. It's probably what's going on. Okay, how about now? Good. Let me know if something kind of... I might have been a little bit too close to the mic as well too, and something could be getting clipped. Test, 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 test. Yeah, so far so good. Okay, cool. Okay, so I think the points in general over here, Chris, are good. I think overall feedback, and for viewers too, right, is if you're going to have a business metric, make sure what you say after it is directly, specifically supporting that business metric and is as close as possible to the action that provided that metric gain. If you said that you increased year-over-year revenue by several percent by providing a presentation to stakeholders, that to me doesn't tell me what happened from the presentation to the execution. So that window there of things that have to happen to net that year-over-year return is completely up for interpretation. Now, if you weren't involved in the execution side as much, that's fine. But I think you need to really clearly specify that. Like, maybe you were the strategic lead. Maybe you were the research and strategic analysis point of contact, like the POC or like the key figure or figurehead or something, but specify your role. Because if you're not, then you're leaving it up for interpretation of the recruiter. And as you can see, as I'm reading it, I don't know. I know that you were part of a lot of good things, but there's some specificity on what your key role was. So same thing with the viewers listening is business metrics, solid. Just make sure I know who you are and what you did with it, and get it as close as possible to the execution stage for the best value. And if you're not part of it, then just specify that. Education's good. So education is, though, I think the one thing that you can say that is still in progress. But it's also implied, because if this is expected in 2027, we know it's in progress. So again, redundant, trim it. You want as much real estate back in your resume as possible. This is implied by that. Projects, current custom threat intel feed using Nate virus total sorted by Euroskin from Slack. Good, but explain the purpose. So like I have to open this up and then I have to read it myself. A good rule of thumb is whatever you're going to put in your resume, don't just drop a link for someone to go and read. So consider it like a threat intelligence report. You want the report to be the encapsulation of everything you need to know right then and there. And ideally, you don't want them to have to go beyond your resume. That you don't want to do. Muffled sounds are back sometimes. Not noticing what triggers it. It's kind of weird. Didn't have this issue last night. I wonder if there's like an app running that is messing up with something. Let's close some stuff. Play Asian 420. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for following. Let's go back. Could be a stream thing going on, yeah. It might also just be in general. Let's tweak that a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna move the mic a little bit away. Some of that stuff move to the side. Yeah, take a look after. Cool. Okay, so hey, Mrs. Valentine 86, welcome to the stream. Hello. Flex is A+, yeah. Cool. Okay, so yeah, as I was kind of saying over here, yeah, like your degree, your experience in progress, like we know it's in progress. It's expected 2027. You can just omit that. Your projects are good, but state the purpose why. Like, don't have me go outside and follow a link to make my own decision or my own opinion of it. You tell me the purpose of why you have something on your resume. Why are you building a custom threat intel feed? Is it for profit, non-profit? Minimize vulnerabilities, an open source community tool. The tech stack is good, but I don't know why you're doing it. You know, like this is like telling me that you're recreating Windows. Why? Like, why would you be programming Windows, right? Like, why are you developing an operating system? So good stuff. I just don't know why you're doing it. Maybe just tell me why. Cyber threat intelligence, CTI 101, good career training. This is all good stuff. You've got a lot of links on your resume. I don't want to have to be going and clicking around as much as this. I don't know if that's advisable. Like, I don't know what to click on. I don't know what's priority. I would remove it. And there's something weird going on with your spacing. Like, why is these bullets, like the margin's kind of strange over here, and then these are just like blank underneath? I don't know. I would just like either remove the bullets or have a bullet on all of them, because something is really inconsistent with the way that you're pushing this here. And then maybe have a bit of a margin there at the top. You got like 1 point here sticking out from this. Anthony, I was wondering as the complexity... This is a big question, okay. I was wondering, as the complexity and interconnectivity of digital systems increase, how can organizations balance the need for robust security measures with the necessity for user accessibility and operational efficiency? And what role do emerging technologies like AI and machine learning play in achieving this balance? Well, stay a while and listen. That's a big question to answer. So security is a tough act, because it's always the balance between providing accessibility for an end user and an attacker to have access to the same thing, to allow each one to do what they need to do at the same time. Like, it's just sort of like motive and intent that changes the perspective of what the person's going to do. So as things increase in complexity and interconnectivity, it actually gets harder and harder to tighten that up. So the truthful answer is actually you need to reduce scope. You need to reduce the ability, and you need to reduce the complexity in general. You need to remove the ability for something to happen in the first place as much as possible. An example would be, does a regular Windows domain user, like, do they really need to have full access to the system? Do they actually need to be able to do everything they need to do on the system, or do they just need a web browser to do their job on web apps? That kind of way of thinking is probably going to be the best way to do it. What role does emerging technologies and AI and machine learning play in achieving this balance? Actually, that's kind of one of the big winning points, the big sells of having a tool like AI and increased technology, is we can probably get closer to having like a mainframe for everyone. Kind of like what we used to have. You just have a terminal connected to one central computer, and there was very little you could do towards that mainframe. You were just provided like a session that was completely controlled and locked down. That's probably where we're going to go. You can see it already, right? Like Microsoft Copilot, it's already in place. Apple's already got their Apple Intelligence coming. Soon you'll just be able to use natural language, like speaking to the computer, speaking to technology to get what you need it to do, instead of having the ability to even click and go under the hood. I think that's where we're going. That seems to be pretty obvious, actually, of where we're going. If you kind of like look back at the different operating systems and what's going on with technology. So that'd be my recommendation, is reduce the ability and likelihood for a user to be able to do anything that is possibly linked to a vulnerability, like permissions and stuff like that. System configuration. It's kind of like your car, you know? If you look at our cars in today's world, they're heavily based on electronics, which is kind of bad, right? For electricity issues and like solar flares and whatever can like knock it out, EMPs. But the driver has a lot less ability to interact with the car, right? It's just like, okay, I turn on, check engine light comes on, take it to the mechanic, I'm good to go. So they can't really do a lot. And I think we're going to see that even with general technology, is they want to remove the ability for you to have control and configuration and just centralize it somewhere else. That way, and I'm kind of going on a bit of rant over here, but I think that way the threat actor would have to be internal to the organization. Like, you would have to have the threat actor inside Microsoft, inside Apple, inside the car dealership, because the end user couldn't actually do anything. So you're reducing the scope. I hope that helps, Miss Valentine. I hope that gives you an answer to a very, very interesting question. Let me know if that answered your burning questions. Okay, kind of going through this a little bit more. I would say the second page... yeah, it is a big coffee. The second page of your resume over here, Chris, is a little all over the map. It looks like you just use this as like, I am gonna put whatever else I think is good and just dump it down there. Because the first part looks really good and organized, but then it's like, okay, just in case, I got a whole lot of other skills, I have a whole lot of other volunteer experience, I have a whole lot of other things that I'm doing, and I'm super cyber. That's gonna hurt you a little bit because it's a little too broad. And if you're saying you're everything, then you're nothing. Like everything can't be everything. So I would say get a little bit more specific and focus on what you want to convey and communicate about yourself, and that would come across a little bit better. Because yeah, it's too much. It's too much to the point. Like technical skills, Wireshark is not a skill. TCP dump is not a skill. SQL in itself is not a skill. I think you can consolidate a lot of this down here of just maybe talking a little bit about examples and specifics about your experience and where they're applicable to something else instead. And I think your skills should be at the top. We already know these are areas of proficiency because you already communicated them. Take it out. Gotta go. It's just excess. And your volunteer experience is so good that it should arguably be up here with your projects and volunteer experience. It's just a little bit misplaced. I hope that helps, Chris. Any other questions, chat, on Chris's resume or anything that I talked about before I move on to the next one? Oh, geez. Also missed the Shways. Shways24. Thanks for the follow. 8 minutes ago. Let's see. So career training in general, it's good. Career training is good, but like I said with Chris's resume, is that he has like every training on the book, to the point that I don't know what you're specifically good at. So your resume needs to be a little bit more like in chronological order. Like get the resume and read it like top to bottom and say to yourself, like in the first 2/3, is it communicating exactly what I want to say, and is it consistent? Too many links. Yeah, 6th degree. It's way too many links. Like why do you have that many links for me to click on? That's why I said just take them out. I should only click on something on your resume that helps me understand more of your specific value. So like your GitHub, your portfolio, your blog. Otherwise, I'm clicking on everything here, and then I'm going to lose interest. So it's got to go. G Money in the Haas. Who's your daddy? It's a good question for Arnold. Let's see what he might answer that one. Didn't know Ricky Martin had cybersecurity training. Ricky Martin is the secret cybersecurity professional. He's special ops, actually. Are you still taking resume submissions? How does one submit for review? Yeah. Oshi. Drop it in Level Effects Discord. Resume Vice. Cool. Jordan, I know you're here. Are you ready? You're up next. Oh dear. oh dear. Oh goodness. Yeah. Let's take another swig of this fuel. Bio is too long, I know, with a period. That's a dot. I see that dot that you added to your message right over there. It's too long. That's like a sigh of a dot. Okay. Jordan Westfall. Alright, good, yeah. Good LinkedIn, email. This is perfect. Good top section. Yeah, too long. Too long. Definitely too long of a bio. 6 years experience in information system caution. Perfect to bring hands-on experience in network and binary analysis. That's good. I mean, I think truthfully, Truthfully, you could probably just like keep that first section. Like this section is probably good enough, honestly. Yeah, I can see some of the template language you still kept, but you could probably be fine just with this. Technical experience, training and certifications. Okay, so your formatting's good. You've got a good eye. Oh, almost. Almost. You almost got past. So the spacing over here is not consistent with your other headers. They're actually a little all over the map. So Jordan, clean up your spacing, because that's not good. Technical experience. Yeah, this is too much. So I can see you're still using some of that template language. Okay, so I think the good thing about your resume that I haven't seen on the previous resume reviews so much is that your technical experience, like I'm assuming this is supposed to be your skills, right? You're actually telling me business value. You're telling me what you can do with your tool knowledge. Good. So well done there. My only concern is that I think you've got too much that I don't know what you're specifically good at, so there's no chronological order maybe telling me, because, for example, network traffic analysis with Wireshark, but then why do you have TCP down here? So think about the visual and chronological order of what you're trying to communicate. Keep your networking in one section, keep your programming and software and engineering in one section, keep your log analytics in another, and your CTI in another. In effect, I would say get rid of the bullets and maybe just put them as 2 columns and kind of have them listed out. That could work. That might make it a little bit easier to read. There's also a little bit of redundancy. I would expect you to have IT general administration at this point in time. You can take things like that out. You should know hardware and software installation. Like, gone. Take that out. Proficient in Linux command line. I'd expect you to be proficient on the command line as well. So I think there's 2 areas you could actually trim. Now, the fact... Oh, I see a message in chat. So the fact that you want to put familiarity with AI prompt engineering for IT projects and documentation is good, but this doesn't mean anything. Like, from a business value, what does that mean? So maybe familiarity or AI prompt engineering to expedite and facilitate IT migrations and administration. Maybe something like that. Like, that's telling me you can use AI for something, as opposed to just like, I don't know what an IT project is. I don't know what an IT documentation is. It's too ambiguous. Have you read the Phoenix Project, a novel about IT, DevOps, and helping your business win? I have not. I know that book got a lot of public reception, a lot of praise. Like, that was what a lot of people were always kind of referring to with the whole DevOps, Agile kind of space. So no, Miss Valentine, I haven't read it yet, but have you read it? That's my question. Because if you've read it and you want to share something with the chat, I'd be interested. Maybe we can check it out one day. 6, what you actually did, though, is awesome. It's just rewarding it to business terms. Yeah, exactly. It's like, 100 Alex recruiters have their own kind of English. It's true. Yeah, they do. Like, recruiters, that's why, like, I'm trying to tell you what, like, the recruiters are thinking about. This is what I thought about when I was doing a lot of hiring, is I'm trying to get clarity of what you're telling me. So you did a good job on the remainder of it. It's just not ordered chronologically in terms of value, and it's not consistent. And then a little bit of redundancy, but otherwise, good stuff. Training and certifications. Nice. Yeah, cool. So this is good, but you've got I see you copy pasted the template. So look, you've got some inconsistent spacing over here versus everything else. So don't do that. That's going to stand out to me. So that's telling me like you're missing some eye for detail, or you just went too fast. But this is good. I would just say, Jordan, take a look at our updated take a look at our updated thing. We have an updated CDA resume inside of the resource folder. Remind me later to put that inside Discord if you don't have the link to it, or maybe Six can grab it. I know she's on top of stuff. But we have updated language to make this a little bit easier and concise. Just the template spacing is kind of weird there. Okay, so your certifications, good stuff. This is... Man. Okay, so you have a whole bunch of certs, but they're just like all in one line. I don't know the date when you got them, so I don't know if they're expired, and I don't know the order that you got them in. And if I'm a recruiter, I am actually interested in that. I do want to know, like, what's been your pathway? How did you progress? Did you start with A+, or did you come back to that later? That tells me a story about you. And the dates let me know that it's valid. And you could just get rid of IT certifications because we know what that is. That's redundant. These certs should go above, if the timeline is chronological, like, this should go above level effect. So, like, your... I mean, I'm trying to think of how to word this. Like, put your order of certs that you got them in by date chronologically, and then put level effect wherever that was inside there. See you, Six. Have a good one. Work experience. Okay, cool. So why do you have the ... here? Is that just to represent present? Huh. Gotcha, okay. Less system access manager user privileges for over 3,000 agency employees, assuring... Okay, good. I mean, it's still a little bit of a description, like, hey, this is... I'm describing the job for you, but it's still good. Directed UCR data compliance efforts, consistently maintaining an error rate below 4%, thereby ensuring the agency's federal certification. Good. It would be interesting if you could maybe also specify one that you specifically are proud of. Because this is good. It helps me understand that what you're part of, directing GRC efforts compliance, has done a good job in maintaining an error rate, but what did you specifically do? Like, maybe one of them that you're proud of. That can make this bullet, because this is a strong bullet. You could even make that a little bit more punchy. Developed and delivered, comprehensive, produced and analyzed. So I think those words like this over here, you could probably just trim that right out. That seems a little bit... Like, just use one of the words. You could probably just, like, remove delivered. You can get rid of analyzed. Things like that. That would reduce the white space a little bit. So just like, develop comprehensive federal UCR compliance to a training team. Train to a team of 20. If you have the rates, like the metrics that you improve the overall team performance, that would be great. So this is a good bullet, but it just doesn't have a value. It's just it's up for interpretation. Cool. Good. Yeah. These are all good. These are all good. Just tighten them up a little bit. Get a little bit more specific where you can. Reduce some redundancy. But this is good. That's a lot of good experience, man. My only question then to you would be, depending on what you're applying for, you may need to tweak the wording here. That's all. You've made it very, very GRC heavy. Like super GRC heavy, which you're a system compliance analyst, so yes. But if you are applying for non-GRC positions, then you may actually need to tweak this wording a little bit. That'd be my only advice. Because it doesn't tell me anything about maybe like triaging or incident response or technical competency. That's a little bit missing here. Keep that in mind. So public safety emergency call taker 2. Yeah. Cool. Good. This is good. Yeah, perfect. This is nice. Yeah, remain positions. This tells a good story. This is formatted well. So this is good. If you have any more metrics, great. But this is good. It's tight. Projected graduation August 2024. I mean, like we know it's in progress. You can just. Wait, you're graduating? Yeah, this month, right? Then just remove that. Just remove it. Like, we know you're gonna graduate. I at least I think you're gonna graduate based on what you're saying. So just put August 20. Just put like WGU August 2024. And then Bachelor's Science Cybersecurity Information Assurance. So this is good, and the advice I give to anyone is if you're gonna put anything describing your degree, don't just describe like what you studied. Do you have a project? Do you have something you led? Do you have an award? Do you have a certain GPA or certain grade? Try to put something more specific than just a description of what the program was, because if we're in this space, we generally know what a Bachelor's of Science in Cybersecurity is. So don't describe it. It's redundant. Talk more about a specific accolade or achievement. Don't put some community college. What are you doing? What Jordan? I'm gonna assume that you redacted that, right? Like, that's not real. Tell me. Okay. I was gonna say. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is good. Cool. I hope that helps, man. So overall good. Reduce this entry statement a little bit. Chronologically order this around and reduce some of the redundancy. And then reorder your training inserts by date and actually put them like with the date you got them, and use our new template language here. You definitely have some room here to get, I would say, try to just get a little bit more specific about what you did, if you can, because it's all good, it's all really, really good, but as a nitpick, highlight something as opposed to just general delivery, general leading, general this. There's room that you could do that. Like this last point's good. Try to get a little bit more of that in the other points, and then maybe you just need to adjust it if you're applying to like an analyst role or something else. So keep that in mind. And then this one's good, solid over here. Try to put an accolade on your education, and then okay, man, I would say that I'd be happy to kind of ship that out. That area probably needing a little bit more of the work of them all. Good job, Jordan. Good stuff. Good stuff. Cool. Rich, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, man. Cool. Take a little swig of some more fuel over here. So, oh, 1 second. I see that message in chat. So the local post and says, "Hey, Level Effect, was just wondering on how you like to for the 2024 games coming this year, because I think that with the way our past trips have gone to places like France and Belgium, for me the place is very shiny environment right now." Not sure what you're asking, man. The 2024 games? Like, you talking about like video games? I'm actually not sure what you're asking me there. Hey, Plasian. What's going on? Hi. Welcome. Any questions, anyone, so far? Anything anyone want to add on to Jordan's resume? I guess not. Okay. Or maybe you're all typing. I don't know. Cool. Alrighty. So Hale, you're up next. Are you still in chat? I think you are. Yeah. Cool. Captain Wolf. So it's your CV up next. Some background context about you. You're looking for entry-level roles, and you were a software developer before this. So I'm looking to transition my career. Okay. Okay. What type of entry-level roles are you looking for, Captain? That'll help me with the way that I'm going to read this. Rich, have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by. See you in class Monday night. Anything in cybersecurity, really? No hard preference. Okay. So if you're looking for anything, then you're looking for nothing. Everything can't be anything. So that'd be my immediate first advice, is you're definitely going to want to be more targeted. So let's hop into the resume. So you're certified in pen testing and security analysis and SOC operations with a strong foundation in cybersecurity backed by 3 years experience in blockchain front-end development. So you don't have to be, I'm not telling you to be picky per se, Captain. But what I am saying is to make your resume focused. Because if you're telling me that you're certified in pen testing and SOC operations, that sounds to me like a senior. Like that's typically someone who's a SOC tier 2 and up. They've been in the field, they've been a penetration tester, especially if you're certified. So if you have a strong foundation in cybersecurity, that would be assumed. You can take that out. If you already have this, then you already have a strong foundation in cybersecurity. 3 years of experience in blockchain and front-end development is interesting. Proficient at writing tools and automation scripts, looking transition. So I think this statement is very conflicting. If you're telling me that you're certified in pen testing and SOC operations, but you're still looking for entry-level work, that is a very contrarian type of outlook. Like, what are you trying to say there? Are you trying to argue for both? You can't tell me you're a senior, but then tell me that you're looking to transition in. So I think the wording needs to be a little bit more specific over here to what it actually is. You're telling me that you're certified based on certifications you took. That's what's really happening here. So you're not necessarily certified for the role, but you have education. Like you have study and you have experience on the education side, but not experience on the professional or production side of things. So I think what you need to say is exactly what you are. At this point in time, you are a software engineer. So that is what you are. You are a software engineer with years of experience in blockchain and front-end development and you are studying cybersecurity. So you have experience on the education side. Now let me just take a quick look and see if your home labs can maybe change that statement a little bit. 1 second. Okay, so you have engagement, you have home lab development, and you have automated phishing detection bot. Okay. This is good. Okay, so you can change this up a little bit more. You could probably say something like experienced software engineer with experience writing and developing security assessment and automation tools. Certified. Now you can add in certified and then say what the actual certification is. Certified in CompTIA and Hack the Box CPTS. So you can say certified with I thought that's CIS. So SY0701 and HTB CPTS. So put that at the end, like certified in that. But what you are is you are a software engineer that can actually demonstrate and write and do and develop security-based things from a software engineering perspective. And that's where you can write things that you are able to develop and produce security assessment and auditing tools, if you want to even call it that. There's a lot of different ways you can word it, but that's kind of the sentiment that you want. Because this is huge. The fact that you did this is a very strong security engineering competency. Like, that's telling me right there that you can develop something that performs security related tasks on your own. So you're already actually like a security engineer in the making. Does that help a little bit more, Captain? Thanks, Papa. Have a good weekend. Yeah, so I guess the way you can think about it is on your opening statement, you should say that you are a software engineer with 3 years of experience in blockchain and front-end development, currently studying cybersecurity and able to develop security, or actually not able to because you already have, currently studying cybersecurity and have developed security automation and assessment tools and certified in Hack the Box CPTS and SY0701. That's a more accurate statement about what you are, because this doesn't make sense. You can't be certified in pen testing and analysis and SOC operations but looking for entry-level work. If you write this is really going to throw off a recruiter right away, and you're going to actually come off inexperienced. Like, that's a very inexperienced statement, and it shows, and I think you know that a little bit. So you don't want to convey that. You want to command what you currently are and the best things about you right now. And the best thing that you can say from a security perspective is that you are able to develop and produce security assessment and auditing tools, and you're certified in good certification. So like the CPTS is well respected, well regarded. So if you put that in here and say that you are certified in that, boom. Yeah. So 1, software dev, 2, right tooling, 3, certified, boom. Way better, way stronger. It tells me exactly what you are, and I know right away. I'm like, okay, this guy's good. Like, he's a software engineer, so he understands the IT and programming side. He can write security development tools, so he's got some security engineering expertise, and he's studying and able to demonstrate that he has some pen testing experience with CPTS. Awesome. That's solid. That's a good opening statement about yourself. It doesn't oversell you. It tells you what you are. Yeah. Skills: diverse tactical experience, proficient in threat assessment and penetration testing across diverse IT infrastructures, including Active Directory and web applications, using tools such as Bloodhound, PowerView, and Packet. Yeah, I mean that's good. Incident response. I see what you're doing over here. Incident response and threat mitigation, skilled in identifying, analyzing, responding. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I think just this section, like what these are, is very up for interpretation and a little bit vague. That it's underselling your skills. Your skills are very good. You're communicating them very, very well. And I like the take that you did. It's not just like a column of things. This is another good way to demonstrate your skills. Just like giving me 3 things that you're really good at. So instead of like scripting and OS expertise, that would be security automation or security automation tooling, or security assessment or auditing tooling, something like that. That's what your skill is. Like that's your main point you want to get across, and then you can talk a little bit about how like you can describe it more. Incident response and threat mitigation are a little bit polar. Like they're kind of. So I'm not sure if you're trying to go for like DFIR, like digital forensics and incident response, or if you're looking for detection engineering over here. I would stick more to just like incident response, because threat mitigation has nothing really to do with this. So incident response is containment and eradication of the threat. Threat mitigation is engineering. That's like detection engineering. That is honestly even a little bit of compliance. That of like having certain controls in place and such. Threat mitigation is more about writing detection rules, alerts, firewalls. That is reducing your overall attack surface. So you've got a bit of a conflict here if you say threat mitigation and you don't have anything to support that you're writing anything detection. So maybe security automation tooling and threat mitigation, maybe that should be the bullet down here, and then talk a little bit more about anything tooling or alert logic. That would be better. And then maybe just keep this as DFIR. This should just be digital forensics and incident response. Now, diverse tactical experience. This is not diverse. Like what you're telling me here is penetration testing and a little bit of red teaming. So it's not diverse tactical experience. However, if you're looking for entry-level work, pen testing is not as entry-level. You should probably put like your DFIR first, and you should put the scripting and stuff next, and then your pen testing experience on the third bullet. You want to convey that your entry-level skills are like your selling point at this point in time. Unless you really are applying to pen testing roles, and if you are, then put the pen testing at top. Does that help? So what do you call it then? So incident response and threat mitigation should be DFIR. This should be penetration testing, right here, the first one. And the third one should be security automation, not security automation, maybe like security assessment tooling or security tool development. That makes more sense. But your explanations are good. I'd keep them. Okay, software engineer at Polygon. You're actually at Polygon? That's pretty cool. Nice. This is good. Okay. So the problem with your job experience is that it doesn't back up your skills. If defer is a skill of yours, digital forensics and instant response, I don't see that anywhere here in your experience. And it's barely touched on in your home lab. So to me, if I was a recruiter, that's a red flag. Your job experience is very, very much tailored for a software developer. It's for software engineering. Is there anything you can add to your bullets here that is... So yeah, you're saying, yeah, but what do I do? I'll tell you what I think you can do. Go back through your bullets and find anything that is related to user account permissions, HTTP security, or RPC. If you're working on blockchain, then I'm sure you had some level development or adjacent experience to RPC. Something with authentication and encryption. Anything along that. Anything. And that is going to back up your skills. And if you have any experience in the software side of triaging alerts, so you didn't work on anything security related in your previous roles, really? Like nothing on user account, login, password management, encryption preference, cipher suites, like anything? Anything on the RPC calls for the blockchain? Anything, Captain. Like, surely you can talk more about the smart contract. Did you have to triage? Yeah, so you mean you did some stuff. Yeah, perfect. So expand, please, more on that. Because right now you're just telling me about your ability. Nothing worth mentioning? No, it is worth mentioning. Because right now you're only telling me what you can do from a software development and software engineering perspective to solve user end problems. But you're not telling me what you've done for anything on the security side. For authentication, permission management, integrity, right? So integrity is a huge thing with smart contracts, to make sure. Talk more about how you were involved in the development to ensure that the smart contracts operated successfully. So anything to verify, anything on the chain, any smart contract negotiation and initiation and execution, anything along there is going to be security centric, and tell me about your scripting and OS experience above. Now, you don't have anything on the defer side, which is fine. But then I'm going to say your home lab really needs to actually be changed. Instead of a home lab, it needs to be like a malware analysis lab. Or you need to call it a defer lab. Gotcha. Okay, so should you rather shift the job experience to the end? Yeah, and that's what I tell students. So like, if you don't have cybersecurity experience at all, there's nothing you can add to it on your job, then you need to bring your personal, volunteer, and other experience above it, because that actually is more important. So your home lab should be actually like a malware analysis and defer lab, and you need to improve as much wording here as you can to back up your skills here. Does that help? Cool. I'd like to see a second go at it. I think you have good experience. You just need to shift it around a little bit, for sure. Because there's a lot more, man, that you can expand on the blockchain side. I'm sure. Like, if you really think about it, maybe you were privy to certain, I don't know, there must have been some tasks that you were at least adjacent on in some degree with engineering, that involved something around the smart contract development execution. There is room here to expand on this, I'm sure. When a recruiter hears that a software engineer was around the blockchain, that's probably one of the better security sides of software development that you could convey more. You just need to talk about it more, because the blockchain at the end of the day is all about ensuring non-repudiation, right? Like, we should have a level of an open consensus that anything can be verified at any time. And if keys are needed, then they're used in some type of verification process. That is security. Blockchain is security. So I think you just need to give this a little bit more thought and change the lens of software developer and change the lens over to security engineer. So what were you involved in with permissions, encryption, integrity, exchange, verification, data auditing, and anything along that? Anything. Put that inside your experience and your resume is going to drastically improve. And then your projects and labs need to be a little bit more security centric to what your skills are. So home lab development is very ambiguous and vague. Call it a digital forensics and incident response home lab. You got it, Captain? Aye, aye. Oh. Quick drink. Cool. Any other questions? Anyone else have any thoughts on Sohail's resume? I think you got some good experience, man. But you got some homework now to do. How many coffees do you Yeah, too many, huh? Too many. I thought I had the wrong cup. That's why I looked over. I was like, you know, Oshikuru. We've all got a lot of cups at our desk. Maybe cups that we should have taken back. Yeah, so Captain, you should be picky with what you're looking for, because you can't be looking for pen testing and SOC analyst work on the same resume. You're going to have to pick one and give it preferential treatment in how you communicate it, because those are very, very different things. So if you are looking for anything entry level, you might need two resumes. One that is like SOC analyst centric and all about defer. Just a whole bunch of defer, lots of incident response, lots of triage, lots of putting out fires. And then make another resume all about pen testing, and then make another resume all about security engineering. Yeah. Cool. Drew, are you still here? I think you said you had to pop out, right? No, Drew's still here. You're up next, man. Drew C. You're welcome, Captain. Drop your updated resume in our Discord, and I'll see if I can get to it at some point. But you got a little bit of cleanup to do. Okay, so Drew, context your resume in informatics, trying to pivot to cybersecurity without traditional IT job experience. Cool. Okay. Drew C. 230. Okay. Nice, congrats. Dohorak, just got your first day details for your first cyber job. Nice. What are they? If you can share. And Drew, you're specifically looking for a cyber defense analyst position. Okay. So you're looking to get into the SOC. You're looking for SOC tier 1 and 2 stuff. Captain, you got good news to share. You just got your CDSA results back. Nice. Congrats. Well done. Huge. Sweet. Everyone give congrats to Captain. Cool. Just like report location, POCs and stuff. Didn't feel real. Oh, I'm glad you kept at it, Dohorak. I know you've been working real hard. Good stuff. You stayed true. Yeah, Captain. Good stuff. Right in the nick of time. Cool. All right, Drew. Let's go into this. All right. So, you provide senior level design, analysis, build, testing, support for the Epic Resolute PB application. So you could definitely trim out that last statement. We know you're open to exploring how your background aligns. That can go. Yeah, even this. I would trim that out. We know that you're like we're expecting that. We know that you want to contribute to a forward-thinking team, and we know that you should be open to exploring a mutual relationship. So that's out. I mean, honestly, even this, it's just sort of saying the same thing as these last three. These last three sentences say the exact same thing about how you're essentially just looking to be a team player and provide your experience to a team. So what you can say is maybe keep this first portion. You provide senior level design, analysis, build, testing. Now, that's good, but I don't know what you are. Are you an analyst? Are you an engineer? Are you a developer? Are you an advisor? Are you a consultant? And how many years of experience do you have doing it? So maybe you could say, like, let's take a look at your resume, experience-wise. Okay, so you are a systems analyst, yeah. I wouldn't say epic analyst, because especially if you're applying for a lot of cybersecurity positions, only the healthcare side would probably know more about that. You are a senior systems analyst, is what you are. So it should say a senior systems analyst with X years of experience, so X being the number, providing analysis, build, testing, and support for Epic Resolute PB application. That's it. We also would expect you to maintain strong standing relationships with stakeholders, so that can go. Honestly, this whole section can be trimmed out, and then this needs to be expanded and upsell your systems analyst ability somehow. Maybe like proven results. Maybe something. What's this metric down here? With proven results in reducing system configuration and development and deployment time, or something maybe. Oh, cool. So Dohark, you just moved into Drew's neighborhood. Cool. Nice. You guys making friends. Cool. So I think Drew, yeah, I think my feedback to you, man, would be you are a senior certified systems analyst with X years of experience. So I guess what, 2021? So what, about 3.5, 4 years experience? And with prior experience as a developer. So if you're a coding specialist, okay, so you did some development work. Okay. I think, right? Is that what that is? What is this? No, this is different. This is not like software development. Hmm. Okay, so 3 years as a senior systems analyst with 7 years in coding. Now, coding, are we talking about development? Are we talking about software engineering? Like, what are we talking about here when we say coding exactly? It seems a little open for interpretation this time. Captain Wolf, thanks again for your advice. Get back to you with an updated resume. Nice, cool, yeah. Thanks for hopping by. Have a good weekend. And yeah, let me know when that resume is around. Yeah, okay, so so Drew, it's medical coding? Yeah, I figured. Okay, so it's not like actual development. I'm trying to think. Yeah, getting doctors paid for services. So I guess, is that medical triage? Maybe that's a better way to think about it. Yeah, so maybe 3 years. So you're a senior systems analyst. You might need to leave out the years of experience if you can't connect the two of them. You can just say that you are a senior systems analyst, because you are. With experience like design, analysis, build, testing, yes. And prior experience in medical triage and coding. That could work. I'd be really leery because that's a little bit misleading if they're reading it as coding and they're thinking it as software development, so you may leave it out. That's up to you. I'd recommend to just maybe keep it as like medical triage and incident response, because that looks a little bit more of like what it's like, right? However, you have built automation logic. So tell me more about what you mean by medical coding. Like, are we saying that you're using... Are you using software to automate medical triage and response? Like, is that what you're doing? Okay. So yes, you are doing that's medical triage. You're using codes and alert systems and performing triage. Yeah, perfect. Cool. So that's what you want to say. You want to say that you're a senior systems analyst with X years of experience doing this, like design, analysis, building, and with prior experience of medical coding and medical triage. And you can even use those terms if you want. CPT, ICD, HCPS. That's more accurate about what you are. And it tells me a better story. It tells me right away that you're strong in systems and you're strong with incident response. And then the rest of your stuff should support it. Okay. So you have your email up here and you have your website. Your website should be at the top. You don't need to have it down here again. you should have like your location, email, phone number, and company page, I guess. Unless you're not your own business. If you're not, and why is that HTTP, man? Drew, I see an HTTP link. If you're putting a link to your website, you better go get that HTTPS up. Get a proper cert on that website. Don't give me an HTTP link. That's a red flag. Credentials. I know, right? Like, Microsoft Azure Security Engineer. Don't put in progress. Put like the date that you're actually going to complete it. Yeah, like this. Good. Yeah, sweet. These are good. Solid. Put the date that you have yourself booked, or that you anticipate to be booked. Don't put in progress. That doesn't mean anything. Drew, so I guess I'm not sure what you heard, but I guess I last left off telling you about your bio. So you're a senior systems analyst with X years of experience, proficient in design, analysis, build, testing, and prior experience in medical coding and medical triage with those protocols that you said, CPD, ICD, HCPS. That's what you are. And then you have an HTTP link on your resume. That's got to go. It should never be HTTP. It should be HTTPS. And then I'd put your home portfolio or company website right at the top. You don't need to put it down here. It should be right at the top because they're going top down and they're going to click on that first. Certs are good. Just don't put in progress. Have your date booked of when you want it. Courses and project experience. Yeah, expected date, Drew. Okay, so I gotta view this. This is good. It's a GitHub link too. Okay, cool. This is good. It's awesome. I love it. Like you're telling me exactly what it is. This is really nice. Very cool. This is really, really good. Maybe tell me what the vulnerability is. Yeah, just maybe tell me what the vulnerability actually is. Because this is your one shot to communicate it. So if you tell me right away, I don't have to ask. But otherwise, it's solid. I would put some spacing. Maybe here, this is like, it's just too much text. Have some line spacing in between this. Just turn off Defender to allow remote connections. Okay, so it's not purposely vulnerable, then maybe login attempts to misconfiguration-based vulnerabilities. Something like that. That at least gives me a little bit more to work with by saying it's a misconfiguration-based vulnerability as opposed to, it could be anything. I don't know what this means right now. Cyber defense analyst in progress. Yeah. I mean, I know this one's a little bit harder. I would maybe try to throw a date of when you're expected to finish this. But yes, this is good. That's what we're looking for. You have in progress first twice. You notice that? I think you might have missed that, Drew. So maybe pick a date. You got a weird hyphen going on over here. Some are also bold, some are not. So you got some inconsistencies here in your formatting. That would jump out at me. You don't have dates on your certs or your experience down here, or do you? Try hack me? Wait, so why don't you have try hack me? Are these the paths that you went through? They are, right? Yeah, okay. You should call them that then. Yeah, you were working at it late last night, yeah. So you should call it that. Yeah, try hack me path. And then just call it like threat hunting, log analysis. Yeah, that's a little bit more impactful. Cool. Yeah, you got our fundamentals over there. Don't put V2. I guess I should probably change that naming. It's just called compliance fundamentals. Yeah, this is good too. These are good. The cyber defense CTF, maybe put the modules that we covered, or at least a couple of them. Like put defer, malware analysis, OSINT. Maybe put some of the key modules, and then fix those inconsistencies here and add some spacing. And then this is good. Super, super nice. Okay. Get rid of these logos. That's really gonna mess up ATS, applicant. I think it's called applicant tracking systems. Yeah. That's gonna mess up your applications, pretty bad. Just put Innova and your position. Don't actually put the logo as an image. It's gonna screw things up, and it messes with your spacing. Yeah, having a first line as a description is okay. You have too many bullets, though. Yeah. You got too many bullets. Some of these bullets are a little redundant, perhaps. Maybe that's why. So instead of like remotely recovered both executives and user systems, you can just maybe say like, did you lead the CrowdStrike outage? Or are you like one of the... Maybe you can add something like incident response lead for major outages, such as like the CrowdStrike outage and maybe something else. Because this doesn't really have a lot of value. That just tells me what you did, but were you like a key representative? Did you lead something? That just sounds like a job task otherwise. Converting 12,000 payment plans from a legacy vendor to a now solution. Okay. So you were the first incident responder. Okay. Yeah, so you're the first incident responder for major outages, including the CrowdStrike outage. That makes more sense. That's a strong line. Converting 12,000 payment plans. So maybe project lead or project executor for migrating 12,000 payment plans of a legacy system. That's probably a better way to say that. Converting, it's up for interpretation. Migration suggests as like an IT project, like we understand that requires systems changes, software changes, etc. A lot of things. Providing evidence that our systems remains PCI DSS compliant through our annual assessment. Okay. So that's kind of given. Maybe you're just like the PCI DSS compliance representative for annual assessments. If you have a metric here, that would be great to add as well. I think you have some room to consolidate some of these points. So you might be like a documentation lead. Yeah, it's kind of hard to like on the spot. So maybe combine HIPAA and PCI DSS into one. So like HIPAA and PCI DSS compliance lead or POC or advisor, something. Ensuring least privilege is a given. So that's not a bullet. So this one's more of a job task. What you want to say more is like user administration. It sort of sums that up more, but you can combine that with another bullet point. I think that would be my advice here. Is I think there's room to just consolidate some of this stuff. You could just like consolidate it into one. I think that's what you need to do. Maybe think about it this way, okay, Drew? That you want to highlight one, like an achievement, which you've got. Two, the things that you're a lead on or that you have the responsibility for. And then three, things that you contribute to. In effect, you could probably collapse this into like 4 to 5 bullet points by combining some of those lines together, and it would read stronger. Because when I read this, it's jumping around a little bit too much. Put your compliance stuff in one line. Put your migration and implementation things in another line. Like your sale point, your 12,000 payment plan legacy migration. That should be in one. The PCI and HIPAA and weekly team compliance meetings, I guess, and cyber risk management meetings or stand-ups, it kind of looks like. That should be in one. And then keep your business metrics above that. Does that help? Because I feel like what you need to do is like copy paste this into a separate doc and then kind of just like collapse them around and then reword it. It's all good experience. It means a lot, but it's jumping around too much that I can't really get a handle on what you actually are. Like just when I think that you are part of some incident response team, I also think that you do migration, and I also think that you do stand-ups and compliance management. And I also think that you're on auditing for record management. So I don't know. I think that's why if you consolidate it a little bit, at least I can read it chronologically from top to bottom. Like business metric, you led this, contributed that, one other line, boom. Does that help, Drew? Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, so it certainly does, yeah. West Virginia University of Medicine. Okay, so I think I'm seeing the same thing over here. This is all good, but it looks like it kind of has the same trend. I think you just need to collapse and consolidate it, and it's the same thing here, yeah. So, part of coding, team lead, Coding, again, coding based. Triage. Maybe do that. Go like each line and then tag them some with like, hey, this is like what the category is. And then that might help you collapse and consolidate it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. See that. Cool. Let's look at the last piece over here. All right, so I think you're really gonna need to expand on what you mean by coding, like we talked about, and maybe collapse a little bit of this. But I love the fact you're talking about like HIPAA and stuff over here, so that's good. Try to change the wording here more to medical triage and medical incident response. I don't think it. So Drew, think it will diminish the impact of lines by consolidation or remove less impactful lines? Not at all. Your resume should be clear. More is not good. It should be clear and concise and simple. I should be able to read and get a sense of who you are within like 7 to 15 seconds. Like I should be able to look from top to bottom and glaze over some things and then say, okay, this is worth reading. And then maybe another 30 seconds to a minute more, reads through some of the key things and get an idea about who you are. If you can't communicate that in that time, and I'm jumping around all over the place, you're going to lose the recruiter. Think about how many resumes that they have to review at a time in a day. And think about job descriptions and postings that they need to fast track. Like they need to get people moving and hired. I would rather know less points that are more specific and clearer and more valuable than everything about you. It's good experience. So I just think it needs some consolidation, and you're kind of hitting that 3 resume page mark, which is not ideal either. 2 is good. 3 is typically for like really seasoned in a specific role. More like academic, more managerial, if anything. Your education should be way up here. Why is it at the bottom? Like if you're at WGU and your excellence award, like this section should actually be, that should be like at the top somewhere here. So this is a degree in cybersecurity. That should, and it's on March 2024. This should be up the top. Yeah, either below summary or below your credentials and stuff. I think once you move your project page to the top and you reduce your summary and you kind of do some spacing stuff here and formatting, this will shrink this entire section and you could fit your education there nicely and still start your resume on the same page. Especially if you get rid of the business logos. And then you collapse this, and then boom, you should be good. Get rid of that logo down here too. Don't do that. You also don't need to keep putting your name like that at the top. If it's 2 pages, then you don't need to have your name again at the bottom. Cool. Good stuff. Yeah, good. So you've got a lot of good experience. You're definitely valuable. I think you just need to communicate it and consolidate it a little bit, and then you've got a much stronger resume. I think I'm only gonna, I'll get through Cody's today, and then yeah, Drew, you're welcome. Good stuff. I'm just gonna grab a quick drink of water. Back. Be right back. Right back. Dorak, I didn't know there was an updated template. Yeah, there is. I swore that we did tag all in Discord when that happened. I swore. If not, I can tag everyone again at some point. Okay, Cody, let's do this. Let's do stuff. Yeah, you were. You went hood. You went dark, rogue. You kind of just like disappeared for a while. Okay, Cody. Cyber Friends professional practical experience network analysis. So yeah, so sort of like the standard template stuff that we say. Yeah, good. Good. I think you're already in a role now, though, right? Didn't you say you moved here for the like? Do you need to update this? You're no longer seeking, kind of thing. So you're actually in the field. You need to update your statement. And secret clearance, yeah, that's good, especially for the role that require it. Technical expertise and knowledge. Yeah, so that's like the original stuff. Network traffic analysis. I think you can remove some of this stuff now, especially with some experience. Maybe the proficiency kind of thing. That's sort of expected now with where you're at. Maybe putting this... I feel like this would look better with a 2-column approach because of the length of words. You can add more to this now. I'm sure you have some more technical expertise and knowledge. You're still using the standard template language that we say for you to start off with, but you need to add more to it. And try and keep them within the same category. Like network traffic analysis, keep that with networking things. What else do you have here with networking? You don't. Okay. You know what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and actually get... Let me grab the link. Hey, 5R. Yeah, it's 5. Yeah, 5R. Hey, welcome. Let me get you the actual link over here, Cody. I'm going to put inside the CDA student chat. R, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming in. Cody, I dropped inside of Discord the more updated link for you over there. Yes, I think in general, what we're looking at is I think you want to throw on maybe like that SOC tier 1 and 2 triage and case management. That would be good to have. And then you can update the level effect training side of things as well. The ATS shouldn't be kicking things back inside of columns. There's nothing wrong with it doing like this. Projects, virtualized Active Directory, home lab. Okay. Project's good, but what's the purpose other than creating an Active Directory lab? And unfortunately, I think you're only communicating that here. So this is not a virtualized home lab. What this is this is a malware analysis and defer lab. That's what you actually built. So change name on that. So you're at WGU, expected 2027. Yep, cool. Security Plus, CompTIA 2023. Good, good, good. Yeah, just update the level effect one, then you're good. Spacing's a little inconsistent though, like here to there. You're gonna have to work on that spacing over there, Cody. What else we got going on here? Okay, cool. So this is good. This is still a description of what you... This part is still like... One second. That is still like a description. So if you did second tier support, then you could maybe free up some real estate and just say like an IT support analyst, tier 2. Implemented and enforced security protocols. This is good. Keep that as a separate bullet point and maybe tell me why. Like what kind of business value did it have? Did you improve any metrics with it? Technical operational training support to users of personal computers, either by telephone, on-site, packages, educated users. So this is still another description point. So is this. Okay, so these are just saying what you do. And we know if you're an IT support analyst, a lot of this is assumed knowledge, honestly. What you're not telling me so far is the security-centric side of things. Other than that, you were part of it. And unfortunately, I think it's here that you get to it. This should be like your first bullet. Because you can say that you're a tier 2 at the top and get rid of that first one, and then the other ones are more description-based. This should be your first bullet, saying that you proactively identified, mitigated potential vulnerabilities. Like maybe describe one or classify them. This could be like 3 bullet points. Yeah. Okay. So this is what you should be breaking up into separate bullets and trying to provide some more specifics and metrics and measurements. And you should remove the description stuff where possible and maybe just collapse them into a single bullet and then say what you led. Maybe use, that's where you can include like revolutionary information technology services. So supported the RITS program. What else you have over here? User administration, hardware and software management and policies. Yeah, I think that's kind of like it. You can consolidate a lot of this into like one single line. Throw in the technology and tools that you're most proud of being proficient in. Break apart these into separate bullets of what the security side of things were, especially like where was it here? Educated users. So like, what did you educate them on that had an impact? It's far too vague. And unfortunately, your best stuff is here. So if you did a phased IT refresh plan, this involved creating a detailed plan according with end users and ensuring minimal disruption operations. That's understood. That's assumed. What I want to know is how many assets, how many endpoints, how many network appliances. What was the number behind this? Is this like $100,000 or $200,000 refresh? Were servers migrated? Was legacy software upgraded? I think you need to get more specific. You have some, based on what you're telling me here, it says like you've done a lot of things, but I don't know what specifically you've done. So if I'm looking at your resume next to someone else, then I'm gonna have a hard time discerning if they're more specific about what they've done. I'm probably gonna want to reach out to them. So you can reduce some description, like I said, consolidate it to one line, put tier 2 at the top, and then specify with metrics and value and any other specifics you have from cybersecurity side of things. And I need to know how you reduced cyber risk, because I don't know how you've done it yet. I just know that you've been part of it. I think we're seeing the same thing here too, yeah? I see your formula. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean now, that you went from like the impact stuff at the bottom. Yeah, man, like look even here in the bottom, right? Like your metrics are hidden here in the bottom. It's like it's down here. The last page of your resume is now telling me, actually no, sorry, down here. So here you're responsible for a $40 million engagement with a trade deal of $3 billion, and there's some savings of over $5 million in acquisition and 95% availability. So you see, Cody, the problem. I mean, okay, so it's not that it's cyber. It's still related to a business value. It tells me that you're capable and responsible for excuse me, projects of large scale, large magnitude, and large business importance. Those are still good things. But why are they at the bottom of your second page? I hope that communicates my point of what I'm trying to say. Why isn't that way up and more along like your first bullets on things? So by the time I understand your value, I would have had to read your resume and just read a lot of descriptions first. So you have very good experience, it's just not specific or clear enough. Cody! Damn. That's my advice in your resume is consolidate these descriptions. That's what you got to do. And then put some metrics in the front. Give the tier on the title. And update the level effect stuff over here where possible. And give a more purposeful name to your home projects. That's my advice. Does that help? Maybe you're tied up over there. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Super helpful. Good to hear, man. Yeah. I think, so, yeah, that's all I'm going to have time for today. So got through 5 of them. I think there's a couple more. To the rest of the viewers in chat and to the recording, I hope this has been helpful. Seriously, I think there's definitely some transferable critique that we've seen across the resumes. But yeah. Yeah, all good. All good, Cody. This will be recorded as well too. This is gonna go up on YouTube after, so you can always go back to it. But thanks, guys. Yeah, I had a good time. I hope everyone's enjoyed, and for those of you in the recording that are watching, I hope you've enjoyed as well. Resumes are tricky. Yeah, you're welcome. Oshikuru, for sure. And thanks for all the new followers, everyone. Yeah, we got a bunch of new followers today. We hit our goal. That's pretty cool. Okay. Any other questions you guys got? Otherwise, I'm around in Discord afterwards. Okay, I think that's it. That's it. I see no chat messages popping up over here. So thanks again. Will you get a chance to Gibson? Yes! Yes, you will, Horak. Okay, so the Gibson I removed out from the CDA, and it will be coming back. It will be coming up as a 24-hour exam. Yes, the Gibson is coming back as a 24-hour exam that you must be able to complete. Because now we can create timed exam objects, so you can get another attempt, but it's going to be timed. Maybe I'll do 48 hours. Maybe we can do like have it set over a weekend. 48 hours, you go through the challenge and then you submit the report. Yeah, I hear you. You will get another chance. You will conquer the Gibson. You will hack the Gibson. Drew, when I have 5 minutes, could you DM? Yeah, go ahead. Just shoot me a little DM over there if it's something personal. Otherwise, drop it inside of the resume advice channel. I can chat with you over there. If it's personal, we can go private for a little. Otherwise, drop it inside of resume advice and I'll get to you. Cool. Thanks again, everyone. Yeah. You watched Hackers and hated it but loved it? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yep. It's the movie that is like, oh man, this is so bad in so many ways, but it's also so good in so many ways. Cool. Thanks again, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed, and on the recording, thank you as well too. We'll see you next time on FAQing Friday. And we're going to see what we're going to do. Have yourselves a good weekend. I'll see you Discord otherwise.